While you can't unfortunately order this android anymore, you can pre-order the Universal Survival Saga androids at Premium Bandai for a limited time at links in the description. Dragon Ball, horror, kaiju, and more. Steven's Toy Reviews. Hello, collector Steven here, and welcome back to another Dragon Ball Figuarts review, where today we're going to be taking a look at the event-exclusive Color Edition Android 17. So, it's Comic-Con season. We have some more event-exclusive Color Edition figures coming out, which should be coming up for pre-order relatively soon after upload, and at the time of upload, we have Android 17 and Android 18 Universal Survival Saga Edition figures that should be available for pre-order at P Bandai, as you already saw in the bumper for this video, which is very cool. You can pre-order those, but right now we're taking a look at the Dragon Ball Z Android 17. Now, this figure is a sort of different color scheme compared to the original Android 17, and there are going to be some folks who want to know if they want to pick this up. Original price was $50 or $60 or so. Aftermarket, yeah, it hasn't treated this figure too kindly, so whether you do want to get the original, which unfortunately I don't have for this video, or get the repaint. Enough talk, let's take a look to see whether or not 17 here is worth adding into your collection. Something that I did make mention of in the Android 18 review, the event-exclusive Color Edition of course, is that, is 17 here really a more accurate color? I wouldn't necessarily say so. I would say it depends on the panel or the episode of the anime that you're watching. Though when I say panel, I guess that depends on the promotional artwork or the cover is what I'm talking about instead of panel. Anyway, you know what I'm talking about. What I will say though here for 17 is I did have the original Figuarts back when it was released. I did get it for about 40 or so. And what I can say is that the paint never really struck me as something that was super over the top awesome. Here, as to whether or not it's accurate, again, I'll let you go ahead and decide that. That's maybe not necessarily what I'm here to talk about, but what I will say is that the paint applications here, Bandai really did put forth the effort to really make it known that there is shading on this figure. While there are some matte coats used here and there, the real eye catchers here are definitely going to be those sort of neon blue eyes that 17 would have, and the sort of yellow green paint applications that's going to be found on the jeans, I guess that would be. And then there's going to be a little bit of purple on the tear in 17's pants. The only issue that I have on mine is that on his hair, his left side, it looks like there's a little bit of bubbling. It's not necessarily something that this is going to have to be shipped back to Bandai for in order to get a correction for because of that variance in the quality control issues. And as a matter of fact, I got this at release. I only opened this up tonight, which is more than a year after buying this, so it is what it is. But at the end of the day, I'm still fine with that. It's a minor issue. Generally speaking, Android 17 here, there are a couple of general rules of thumb, like gold and silver paint. Never really any company can get that right, which, hey, they weren't able to nail it perfectly here. But yeah, overall, 17 here does look very good. So if you have the original SHF 17, realistically speaking, there's going to be no difference in the articulation since this is a repaint. But if you don't, that's why you're here. So the head is going to have a system, both heads actually, are going to have a system of a swivel where the joint is plugged in. So this way we can move the head from side to side like that. It's going to have a hinge, so this way we can move the head forward and back, and then a ball joint where it plugs in at the neck. So what this effectively, if that plugs in, that's one of the issues, getting it to actually plug in with a satisfactory pop. Once we get that plugged in. There we go. Okay, so we get to move forward and back like that, twist from side to side, rock from side to side, just like that. And then the neck is on a ball joint as well, where it plugs into the body. So we get nice range of movement there from the head. Now, for the shoulders, they do swivel, because it has a ball joint range of movement, because it's an actual ball joint. So, more than just swivel range. Now, we do have these odd, I guess you might call them, something we'll talk about in the accessory section. We do have these odd, I guess you might call them shoulder pads that are here. These are little flaps of softer plastic, almost rubber-like, and they do move with 17, so you can move the arms up and back just like that. Maybe be careful over time. Maybe they'll start to crack a little bit. I don't know, but it's just something to be mindful of. We do have hinges, so this way 17 can T-pose just like that. And then do they swivel? Well, just a little bit. for a bicep swivel, but what we're actually going to have is we are going to have bicep swivels right there where they should be. 17 is going to have double hinge elbow, so we're going to get range of movement just like that. And then for wrists, as we can see here, pretty difficult to pop off. Got to put a little bit of force, but we do have swivels where they plug in because it's going to be on a peg, hinge movement that way, and then more so a peg than a ball joint where the hands plug in. So that's going to be our wrist movement. Very good. Do note he is wearing long sleeves, so we have a little bit of cuffs which do hinder the hinge movement, but it was just fine. Now, we do have an ab crunch, which sort of prevents side-to-side twisting and turning, but rocking forward and back is just fine. Do note we have a ball joint waist, which gives us fantastic range of movement there. So rocking from side to side can be done with that waist joint. Since this is going to be back in the days of the 1.0 body style, we are going to have hinges which allow for drop-down movement of the hips. The right one on mine is rather stuck, so it doesn't really like to work too well, but it does work. Now, there are going to be ball joints as well, so kicking forward and back about that far, and then utilizing the drop-down hinges, we're going to have a full split at the hips for about that much. Now we are going to have thigh swivels, as you can see there, so that's kind of like the 2.0 style. This is where we kind of first saw that. Double hinge knees allow that. We do have swivels and hinges at the ankles despite the unique sculpt for the feet. So full ankle rocker movement, nice bend backwards, a little bit of bend forward, and toe hinges. So overall for Articulation 17 is pretty much going to be able to offer anything you could want. And with the upcoming renewal for the Universe Survival Saga, this one still holds up rather well. And the new one is going to be, I think, just a little bit better than what we have here. All right, so accessories. Android 17 comes with a ton of them, so I'm going to go ahead and hit the ground running, and we're going to talk about them. Android 17 comes with 2 alternate faceplates, an alternate head part. He's going to come with a gun and a holster for the gun, different than what's already on his hip. He's going to come with an alternate folded arm parts. He's going to come with an alternate belt part. He's going to come with an alternate kerchief. He's going to come with several alternate hand parts. And I think that's everything that he comes with. All right, I got a tray in front of me, so let's go ahead and talk about them. All right, alternate faceplates and alternate head part. Let's go ahead and bounce between them, between the normal default head sculpt and the alternate head sculpt. Looks pretty good. The alternate head sculpt is sort of windswept, like he's going after his target. Very cool. The faceplates, he's going to have his normal face, which is kind of a sort of a smirk. His second faceplate is going to be a real notable smirk, and then his other one is going to be looking off to the side with a real teeth gritting face. Now, he is going to come with a whole bunch of swappable parts for his kerchief, his folded arms, his belt, and his head. So I put together this real quick video montage on how to do that. I kind of fumble around a little bit here because it's difficult to walk and chew gum at the same time, so to speak, record and do all of this stuff in one take. So yeah, it's a little bit sloppy, but if you really need to know how to do everything, this is for you. Android 17's arms are really easy to pop off for the folded arm parts, so you should have no real trouble doing that. And now with that, we'll go ahead and slide right on over to his alternate parts. So first, the folded arm parts look pretty good, and they actually do have bicep swivels there. Not that they're going to be good for anything, but let's keep going on. So for the alternate hand parts, he is going to come with a hand part, so this way he can actually hold the gun, and an alternate holster part for his hip. So this way you can actually pop that off, and he can hold the gun and have an empty holster on his hip. It's not going to open up and you can take the gun out. This is just how they decided to do it. So 17 is going to have chopping hands. He's going to have slight cupped hands, so this way they're slightly different from the chopping hands or his Specium Ray hands, depending on what you would like. He's going to come with some sort of karate hands, like he's going to be in an action pose if you would like to do that, which is really fun. He's going to come with truly splayed hands, similar to what the Figuarts Goku figures come with. They're going to be really splayed out like he's firing an energy shot. And then he's going to come with hands that make him look like he's holding something. What he's holding, I don't know. He doesn't come with anything. If you do know, please drop in the comments. Yeah, help me out there. All right. That's everything. So in summation, what was dropped from the original release? I believe nothing. I had the original release for a couple of months and then I sold it because I kind of purged my entire Dragon Ball collection, and then Bandai announced that they were doing all of these fun figures, and then I bought all the new ones, and then these came around a couple years later, and I'm like, yeah, I can get the original releases back, but different paint schemes, of course. And taking a look at the tray for the original release online compared to this, I think everything is here. So if there's anything missing, I don't know, I can't figure out what. Now, with that being said, 17 does have a couple of different energy parts, like he has the barrier, and then he does fire generic Ki Blast, but c'est la vie. Now, for Super, in Dragon Ball Super, he does have a couple of green-themed Ki Blasts, which, for the Universal Survival Saga 17, he's going to come with energy effects. But in the meantime, if you need anything like stands or effect parts, you know I got videos to help you out. Now we'll go ahead and wrap up the video with a size comparison for both Androids 17 and 18. You'll see some familiar faces, maybe some familiar foes here, and that's about all I have to say. Generally speaking, I would say that they do fit in well with any of your Dragon Ball figures so far, or if these are just going to be your unique characters, they should be nice sparring partners with some other characters you might have on the shelf. So, buy now, skip, or wait for a deal. At MSRP, Android 17 is a no-brainer purchase if you are looking to pick up a 17. Quite frankly, if you are debating between this one and the original release, it's going to come down to whichever one you think looks better if you're talking about the aftermarket. If we were to dial it back and take a look at original MSRP for which one of these, it's a tough call. Honestly, again, it does kind of come down to the paint application, but I would say that the original is more so in line with the colors that I'm more so used to from the original source material. However, I do like the faces more so on this one. That's my own personal preference, but when it comes to objectivity, for the original MSRP and from what I'm seeing on the aftermarket, this one may look to be the better purchase for you. However, if you just need a good representation of 17 in your collection, the new Dragon Ball Super version of 17 is going to be up for pre-order on the Premium Bandai website for the US market when this video goes up, and will be for at least 2 months, who knows, maybe 3 or 4. So you may want to look into pre-ordering that. I think price is going to be about $60 or so, which would be a good thing to pick up sooner rather than later. But for this figure and 18, both the event exclusive color editions are great additions to your collection. Well, collectors, that brings us to the end of the video today, and I just wanted to take a second to thank you so much for watching. Now you've heard a lot from me, I'd like to hear a little bit from you. Drop in the comments down below whether or not you liked it, you hated it, or maybe you were somewhere in between. I also want to take an extra second here for a nice, humongous thank you to all the patrons for SDR over the last month who have really helped the channel grow into what it can be today. So to all of you, 2 big thumbs up. Thank you very much. And now the end card should be popping up, which will give you a few clickable links, like maybe to subscribe or head on over to my Patreon, or some short URLs like to my social media or to my Teespring store. There's also a video I hand selected for you, so if you want to watch another STR video, I hand selected some good content for you to watch, so definitely check out that video. Thank you again so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.